The morning of November 15, 2025, dawned crisp and bright over the ITV studios in London, where the beloved daytime talk show Lorraine was preparing for what promised to be a blockbuster episode. Lorraine Kelly, the 65-year-old Scottish presenter with a career spanning 4 decades, sat poised in her signature armchair, her warm smile belying the steel beneath. She had interviewed everyone from Hollywood A-listers to British royalty, always with a blend of charm and incisive questioning that endeared her to millions. Today's guest was Liam Neeson, the 73-year-old Northern Irish actor famed for his roles in Taken and Schindler's List, promoting his latest action thriller Ice Road 2, The Reckoning. The set buzzed with anticipation. Producers whispered about Neeson's reputation for bluntness, but no one expected the powder keg about to explode. Lorraine opened the show with her usual effervescent energy, welcoming viewers and teasing the interview. "He's the man who can find anyone, but today we're finding out about Liam Neeson himself." As Neeson strode onto the set in a tailored black suit, his towering 6'4" frame casting a shadow, the audience erupted in applause. He shook Lorraine's hand firmly, his piercing blue eyes locking onto hers with a nod that seemed polite enough. The first few minutes sailed smoothly. Lorraine gushed about his Oscar-nominated performance in Schindler's List, and Neeson recounted a light-hearted anecdote about filming in the Arctic for his new movie. But beneath the surface, tension simmered. Neeson had arrived after a grueling press junket, jet-lagged from Los Angeles, and rumors swirled that he was irked by tabloid stories questioning his action hero status at his age. Lorraine, ever the professional, steered toward safer waters, asking about his family and his beloved late wife Natasha Richardson. Neeson's responses were clipped but cordial, his Belfast accent thickening with each answer. Neeson's initial response was measured, but his tone carried an edge sharper than any prop knife from his films. "Lorraine, with all due respect, the industry's gone soft. Back in my day, we made films about real men taking real risks, not this pandering to every sensitivity." The studio audience shifted uncomfortably. A few murmurs rippled through the crowd. Lorraine, unflinching, pressed on with her trademark blend of empathy and probing. "But isn't that progress, Liam? Including more voices, more diversity? Surely that strengthens stories?" Neeson's face tightened, his hands gesturing animatedly as he launched into a diatribe about forced quotas ruining creativity, citing examples from recent blockbusters he claimed were ruined by agendas. Lorraine interjected gently at first, reminding him of the Me Too movement's impact and how it had empowered actresses like those he'd worked with. The exchange escalated rapidly. Neeson's voice rose, accusing morning TV of being part of the problem for platforming fluffy discussions instead of hard-hitting ones. Lorraine's eyes narrowed. She wasn't one to back down, having faced down controversial figures like Piers Morgan in the past. As the clash intensified, Neeson stood up abruptly, his chair scraping against the floor like a gunshot in the tense silence. "This isn't an interview, it's an ambush," he bellowed, pointing a finger at Lorraine, who remained seated, her posture impeccable. She responded coolly, "No, Liam, it's a conversation. If you can't handle a woman challenging you, that says more about you than the industry." Gasps echoed from the audience. A producer rushed on stage, whispering urgently about wrapping up, but Neeson brushed him aside. He paced like a caged lion, ranting about how political correctness had emasculated action heroes, using his Taken franchise as a prime example of unapologetic masculinity. Lorraine, drawing on her years of hosting, pivoted to Neeson's personal life, asking if his views stemmed from grief or generational gaps. "Don't psychoanalyze me on live TV," he snapped, his face reddening. The director cut to a hastily prepared montage of Neeson's career highlights, but the damage was done. When they returned, Lorraine attempted to de-escalate, "Let's agree to disagree and talk about your film." But Neeson was unrelenting, accusing her of bias because of her support for LGBTQ+ rights in past episodes. "You lot push this agenda every morning while real issues like crime go ignored," he shouted. Lorraine's response was legendary, "Real issues? I've interviewed victims of domestic abuse, survivors of terror attacks. So don't lecture me on real, Mr. Neeson." The crowd erupted in applause for her, drowning out his retort. Backstage, publicist panicked. Neeson's team demanded the segment be pulled, while ITV execs saw ratings gold. Clips spread virally on X and TikTok, with users editing dramatic music over the showdown. Memes proliferated, Neeson's face superimposed on his taken poster with captions like "I will find you" and "cancel you." Lorraine, ever graceful under fire, signaled for security as Neeson refused to sit. "If you won't engage respectfully, perhaps it's time to leave," she said, her voice cutting through the chaos like a knife. Security escorts flanked Neeson as he was led off the set, his broad shoulders hunched in fury, the audience a mix of boos and stunned silence. Lorraine, composure intact, addressed the camera directly. "Well, folks, that was unexpected. Liam Neeson, Everina or what's left of the interview." She transitioned seamlessly to the next segment on autumn fashion, but the incident hung in the air like smoke. Within an hour, ITV issued a statement: "We regret the heated exchange but stand by Lorraine's right to fair discourse." Neeson's reps fired back, claiming editing would distort the truth and threatening legal action. The full unedited footage leaked online via a whistleblower, revealing even more explosive moments cut for broadcast, including Neeson mocking Lorraine's agent accent. Public reaction was polarized. Conservative outlets like GB News hailed Neeson as a truth-teller against woke tyranny, while progressive voices on BBC and The Guardian praised Lorraine as a feminist icon for holding her ground. Celebrity reactions poured in. Joan Collins tweeted support for Neeson's guts, while Emma Watson lauded Lorraine's poise. The story dominated headlines. Taken off air, Neeson booted from Lorraine. Analysts dissected every word. Body language experts noted Neeson's aggressive posture versus Lorraine's calm defiance. Behind the scenes, Lorraine confided to her team that she'd anticipated pushback but not the personal attacks. Neeson, en route to his next interview, reportedly smashed a phone in his trailer. The film's promoters scrambled, pulling ads from ITV slots. In the aftermath, the incident became a cultural touchstone, dissected on podcasts, late-night shows, and even parliamentary discussions about media bias. Jimmy Fallon parodied it on The Tonight Show, with a skit of Neeson taking Lorraine's coffee mug in retaliation. Lorraine appeared on This Morning the next day, laughing it off. "He's a lovely man off camera, but put him on the spot, and oof." She revealed Neeson had sent flowers with a note: "Sorry for the drama, I still respect you." But the damage lingered. Neeson cancelled remaining UK press, citing hostile environment. Feminists rallied around Lorraine, launching #StandWithLorraine campaigns, while men's rights groups dubbed Neeson a martyr for masculinity. Academic papers emerged analyzing the generational clash, pitting Neeson's boomer sensibilities against Lorraine's inclusive ethos. The BBC commissioned a documentary, Clash of the Titans, Neeson vs. Kelly. Ratings for Lorraine boomed, with guests now joking about surviving the chair. Neeson's film opened strong despite because of the scandal, earning $50 million worldwide in its first weekend. He addressed it in a Variety interview: "I lost my temper, but I stand by my words. Hollywood needs a wake-up." Lorraine, promoted to Dame in the New Year's honors for services to broadcasting, quipped, "If kicking off Neeson gets me a title, who's next?" The event inspired merchandising mugs with "I have a particular set of skills" to interview and t-shirts saying "Don't mess with Lorraine." It highlighted the fragility of live TV, where one wrong word can derail careers. Yet, both emerged stronger. Lorraine's audience grew loyaler, Neeson's fanbase more vocal. The clash underscored evolving societal norms, with polls showing 55% siding with Lorraine, 35% with Neeson, and 10% calling it entertainment.